Over last few years, I genuinely felt that I have lost control over my life. Sabke jaise, I had ambitions, goals, even ideas, but the only problem was that I was not able to execute. So every few weeks, I would sit with a lot of frustration and ask myself why I can't do this, why I can't be consistent, why I can't be disciplined. And every time the answer came back to one simple thing: my habits, and more specifically, lack of good habits. So I did what most of us do. I made a plan, I created a to do list, I created tons of reminders and alarms for myself, and this time I was highly motivated, feeling that this is it. This is the time where I change my life around. And like every time, I would stay on track for 2 3 days, even for a week, but then I will go back to square one. That's where I started thinking that maybe I am not the kind of person who can stay disciplined. Maybe consistency, discipline is just not my thing. And honestly, this is where I gave up on myself. This is where I hit rock bottom. But in August last year, something changed. See, I have always believed that self help books don't really work and inspiration for real change comes from inside. But in August, I thought I would give it a shot. I would learn everything that I can learn from any self help book and probably try to change my life around. That's when I researched around how to get disciplined, and that's where I stumbled upon this one book that everybody was saying too many things about. The book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And while I was reading this book, something really changed. For the very first time after trying to learn discipline, things started to make sense. And more importantly, I started seeing change in myself. So I started implementing the techniques from this book one chapter at a time. And since October last year, I haven't felt depressed or frustrated with myself, and I felt that things were in my control. And all of this happened because I finally understood why the old systems were not working. Why was I not able to stick to a routine for a longer period of time? That's why I'm making this video series, not to summarize the book, but to walk you through all the tools, all the techniques, all the strategies that have helped me with my own journey. So if you're struggling with discipline, building habits, or you just feel that you don't have your life in control, then this series is for you. Each video in this series is very short, practical, and is designed to give you specific ideas that you could implement right away. So let's just begin. There is a line from this book: you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your system. And I want you to pause and just think about this line for a minute. See, we all have goals. We all want to be disciplined. We all want to be consistent. We all want to have good habits. We all want to work on ourselves and probably do something better with our lives. But what we don't realize is goals are just outcomes, not strategies. Goals don't tell you how you will get there. For example, let's say you and your friend just started the gym. You both have same goals. You want to be fit and you want to look aesthetically pleasing. You both start on the same day. You both have the same plans. You both have the same workout. But few months later, you start to notice a difference. Your friend is more stronger than you, he is more energetic, and he is looking more aesthetically pleasing. And you think to yourself, everything was the same, our goals were same, our workouts are same, our plans are everyday same, but what is changing? You think to yourself that maybe it's their genetics. But here's what actually happened. Your friend had better systems. Even though you and your friend were going to the same gym, he was tracking his meals, he was tracking his progress, he was tracking his sleep, he was making sure that he was progressing every single week. Yes, you and your friend had the same goal, but his systems made sure that he was giving his 100% every single day. And that's the actual difference. Systems actually create progress, not your motivation, not your goals, but actual systems. So if you're thinking, what should you do? I would suggest ask yourself, what systems do I need to build that makes achievement inevitable? And when you answer this question, you will not only have the goal, but you will have an exact plan of how you need to achieve that goal. You will have better systems. Now, here's the catch with this mindset shift. See, even the best systems won't help because we all have created systems in the past. The problem was that they did not last long. We were not able to stick to these systems or plans that we made for a longer period of time. So, what is missing here? The missing part of the puzzle is your identity. Even if you have great systems in place, but you still believe that you are not the person who can be disciplined, then no matter what kind of plans you come up with, no matter what kind of systems you create, you will not be able to stick to them for a long period of time. And that brings us to the second mindset shift that actually changed the game for me. I used to say I am a lazy person and being disciplined and being consistent is not for me and I can never stick to a routine. This is what I used to think about myself. And the funny part here is all my habits, all my actions actually supported the belief. I was not waking up on time, I was not following through on my plans. So naturally, I started seeing myself as a lazy person. But when I learned about the second mindset shift, it made all the difference that I needed to see progress. The second mindset shift is your habits aren't just actions, they are votes. Yes, votes. Votes for the kind of person you are becoming. For example, if you write every single day, even just for 10 minutes, you are casting a vote to become a writer. If you go for a 10-minute walk, keep yourself hydrated, stretch for 5 minutes, then you are casting a vote to become someone who prioritizes their health. And by the way, this works in the opposite direction too. Skipping tasks, not following through on your commitment, breaking promises to yourself, they all reinforce an identity too. So instead of asking yourself what goals should I chase, try asking who do I want to become. Once you are clear on your identity, you ask yourself another question. What is one small action I can repeat that aligns with that identity? And that's how we shift from motivation to transformation, from forcing discipline to becoming someone for whom this is just natural. Before we move on, I want you to take a minute and reflect. See, these mindset shifts only work when we apply it to ourselves. So let's do this exercise. Think about that one identity you want to build. Not a goal like I want six pack abs or I want to make more money, but an identity. Maybe it's I want to be someone who's consistent. I want to be someone who's focused and distraction free. Or I want to be a reader. Now ask yourself, what is one small action I can repeat daily to support that identity? So, if you want to be someone who's consistent, start with one non negotiable habit every day, even if it takes 2 minutes. If you want to be focused, try keeping your phone in another room for 30 minutes while you work. And if you want to be a reader, then just commit to yourself that every single day you would read one single page. By the way, that is how you actually begin. One small vote every day for the person you want to become. Because at the end of the day, this is not about motivation videos or hacks that can change your life around. It is about becoming the kind of person who actually shows up for themselves every single day, even in small ways. And now, if you're watching till the very end, thank you so much. This says a lot about you. You sticking to the very end of this video says that you actually care about this stuff. So, if you are comfortable, I would like to know what is that one identity you will be working toward and what is that one small habit that you are starting with. Drop the answers to these questions in the comment below. I would genuinely love to read all the comments, and if there is anything that you actually need help with, if you need to understand what actions you need to take for that one identity, maybe we all can come together and help each other out. That's the entire idea behind Kuch Bhi Baat Hai. I want to create a community where we all learn together, share our knowledge and help others be the better version of themselves. In the next episode, we'll learn how we can break bad habits and create good ones. But for now, just start with one small vote. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.